Hey guys, here's a quick little update video of what I've been doing. So, I recently got a couple of these limited edition PS4 controllers. Now I'm going to be giving some of them to a couple of my friends for Christmas, so you're not going to see this video until after Christmas, because it'll ruin the surprise for them. Anyways, so I came up with a new idea of how to turn on these LEDs. So I pretty much added this screw right here at the bottom. Before, I placed the screw on the back over here, and when you were holding the controller, sometimes it would accidentally turn on the LEDs, and I didn't really like that. It's kind of a little design flaw. So since I added it down here, you have to kind of go out of your way to put it on, so you just hold it here for 5 seconds. Lights will go on. Change the colors, you just tap it, and you just hold it as normal. It just works way better like that. And this is how I did it. So all you gotta do is essentially break away this section right here. When you open up the controller, the back shell will have this little piece of plastic tab right there. You can just break it away. It doesn't really do anything. All it does is kind of keep the battery in place, but you still have the holder that's right there, and then the other holder that's right there that'll still keep the battery in place. The middle one is just extra. So once you break that away, you just drill a really small tiny hole with a drill bit, and then you use a small pointy screw, and then you just kind of countersink it into the controller shell itself. And then from there, all you gotta do is extend this wire for the touchpad feature to be able to control the LEDs. And then you're gonna want to place this on top of the screw. And yeah, and then over here, as you can see right here, there is 4 sets of LEDs. I wanted to try something different, and on this one I obviously did 6 sets of LEDs, because right here it's gonna actually light this section up as well now. And once this is all set, I'll show you guys what that looks like in a couple of seconds. So here's what this is gonna look like. As you can see, all 6 banks of LEDs pretty much illuminate the whole front shell, and it looks really nice. And yeah, and also how I added those extra 2 banks of LEDs. I had an extra 2 of these from a different LED set, because on one of them I only did the LED lights on the top, and then these ones are just white analog sticks, so I just cut those off. So I took those 2 extra ones, and if you actually look really close, you can solder each one of these wires to the end of this right here. And when you do that, you're pretty much just essentially putting all the LEDs, these ones, into series, and then they go back into parallel, so you don't have to worry about the LEDs dimming on you at all. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together, and we'll see how it looks. So here we go. This is what it's gonna look like. Almost there. I just put the motherboard into the controller itself. It's a little tight fit because down here where the LEDs kind of wrap over the motherboard, it was kind of hitting right here. But if you just push it up towards the top and then slide it in from the bottom first, then you can avoid like damaging anything. But other than that, what I do with these wires, I just kind of tuck them underneath the rumble pack, positive and negative wires, and they just stay out of the way. Now I'm gonna stick this to the back shell. To do that, this section, this piece right here, pretty much just lays right in this area right here. What I like to do actually is break this plastic part off right here, because again, this doesn't do anything either really. And once you break that off, you can kind of push it down as far as you can to avoid the reset button right here. And I'll show you that right now. And there you go. So as you can see right here, I took away some of that plastic. It's right here. And yeah, and then you just kind of move it all the way as far as you can down to the bottom left. And then I just kind of snake this wire that I extended from the touchpad area. And I kind of wrap it around. And then you just want to place it on the screw and just kind of keep packing all the copper adhesive stuff that's all around it, so that it kind of catches all the ridges on the screw itself. And then once it's there, you want to make sure and double check and make sure that that screw is actually working. So I got the battery hooked up right now. I'm gonna hold it for 5 seconds. There you go. Lights turn on. And you want it so that if you just tap it just real quick, that the LEDs will change. You don't want to have to kind of fidget around and then try to get it to work, because it's just aggravating when it's like that. That's the reason why I add the screw, because before, if you just put the copper piece and stick it here, like what the instructions say with this LED mod kit, if you just do that, you kind of have to hold your finger on the back of the shell. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does work, and it just gets aggravating. So yeah, now I'm going to close this up and see what the final product looks like. So here we go. This is what the final product looks like. Just put it all back together. All the screws are in. There's a screw on the bottom. Give it a tap. Boom. Personally, I think it looks a lot better with the extra LEDs versus this one. As you can see, it kind of fills it in a lot more. Now, one thing that I'm wondering how the battery life is affected with the extra LEDs versus this one. I did do a test with the LEDs with this one versus a normal PS4 controller with no LEDs, and the battery life did drain about 10 minutes sooner than with this one. So I'm expecting that this one will probably drain maybe 15 to 20 minutes sooner than a normal one. But if you guys want me to do a video on that, maybe like a speed test, like have both controllers side by side, like a regular controller with no LEDs versus this one, and yeah, I'll see what happens with that.